Back from our short break here on Smart Money. Lots of questions that are waiting to be answered over here. So I'm going to come quickly to them. Sir, you had a question.
Yeah.
There is a golden rule in the investment that you should see the three things: safety, return and liquidity. Now what weightage we should give?
There's a fourth dimension, time. The time that you have will decide the other three factors. So if you have a longer time, then you can have safety, liquidity and return even with an equity share. If you have very little time with you, you can have safety, liquidity and return with a fixed deposit. So the asset class depends on the time factor that you're going to choose. So time is your most important dimension.
Just now you said person should make arrangement for contingency fund. Now in what way he should invest in contingency? Just he has to keep the money in cash at his home, or he should deposit as fixed deposit in the bank. What about if the bank goes bust?
A small percentage, maybe 25% of this money can be kept as cash at home. The remaining money, yes, you can put it with the bank, but there is a little bit of a risk. I mean, these days, because we hear banks crashing, we feel even that's a possibility that even a very large, reputed national bank can also go bust. Mutual fund is a better structure there, at some point. The reason for that is a mutual fund is constituted as a trust. That trust has certain beneficiaries which are defined by the constitution of that trust deed. The beneficiaries are people like you and me who are known as unit holders of that trust. So irrespective of a bank going bust or irrespective of a fund manager not being able to manage that fund, the fund is separate from the company. So if you are investing in an HDFC mutual fund, you are putting money to the trust. The fund manager is HDFC Asset Management Company, which is a different entity. So the entity who is managing can change, but the trust remains. And by the definition, by our Indian Trust Act, trust has money from unit holders or contributors to the corpus of the trust, and there your interest is perpetual. So a trust can only go bust if all the money is used up in a bad fashion or bad decisions are taken, but that cannot happen because you have full transparency and everything that a trust is holding, you know, on a month-to-month basis. So I would think that there is a case there to invest in a liquid and a mutual fund kind of a situation.
Right.
I wanted to know how safe our money is in nationalized banks. There was talk of even the banks crashing. So what do we do? How do we divert the money from fixed deposits?
The logic is this. If I'm going to get a return of 7%, as an example, and if inflation is at the same 7%, am I actually making money or losing money? Or I'm making nothing? See, my 100 rupees in fixed deposit is going to become 107 next year. But if inflation is 7%, to buy the same goods that I'm paying 100 rupees for in this year, I'll have to spend 107 next year. So where is the sense investing in a fixed deposit? Or for that matter, in a postal or anything else? I think the first principle of financial management is invest in something where your post-tax return is at least equal to or more than inflation.
Now looking at the Satyam episode, so many investors have invested in shares, especially Satyam. Now I want that you should throw the light on this episode.
Sure.
And now when we are discussing about Satyam, my colleagues or those who are discussing among ourselves, we are asking the questions to ourselves, is it only Satyam or there are so many hundreds of companies are like Satyam?
Even if they are there, you will not know.
Even as we speak, Karthik, the Corporate Affairs Ministry is talking about looking into accounts of various companies beyond Satyam, because now suddenly they feel that perhaps a lot of wrongdoings happened elsewhere as well. So where is the faith going to go? How does one invest in the equity markets in a time like this when there is skepticism all around?
Let's talk about where we lose money. Out of all the companies that are there, in how many companies like Satyam have we lost money versus how many companies have we gained money? The simple logic or rule of investing into an equity market is look at a business that has been around for a long time, look at a business that is basic, a business that is a fundamental requirement, who have a professional management, make an investment there. Satyam would quite qualify into that bracket also, but that's a bad, unfortunate event. So overall you get a better picture. That's why we say don't put all your money into one basket, right? That's why we say keep diversifying. Even if you're buying into equities, buy into a broad-based portfolio. But don't buy into one sector, one industry, one company.
I guess there will be lots and lots of questions that still remain unanswered as far as personal finance is concerned. That's the kind of space that we are living in, and these are difficult times indeed. Karthik, I want to thank you for joining us and for helping us solve some of the problems that we've got from this wonderful bunch of people. from this Anand Nagar society here in Mahim in Mumbai. But of course, if you have more questions, don't forget you can keep writing in to us. Our email ID is very easy. It's smartmoney@utvi.com. And this is not just for you, for our viewers over there as well. It's smartmoney@utvi.com. And then, of course, there's the SMS number, which is 59995. What you need to do is SMS SMART. Put your name, your city, and your question with spaces in between. You send it across to us. And, of course,